Hi everyone, it's the gluten-free princess. I know my YouTube says glutenless princess. That's just because they wouldn't accept the gluten-free princess. And today, this is going to be my second video today, but today I'm going to show you a Chex Mix that is really good, homemade, gluten-free, amazing Chex Mix that you can make at home that kind of curves your sweet tooth. Like, I mean, being gluten-free, there are a lot of stuff you can't eat unless you have it specially made. Like gluten-free cake. Like, that's not as good. But if you want something that's very sweet, kind of sweet appetite, and then I've got some ingredients to replace some things that you can't eat with a gluten intolerance. So, yeah. Before we get into this, I'm going to say that I have a bread mix, a pizza mix, a noodles, and like spaghetti. But basically, these things are expensive. Therefore, the best way to save money and still be able to eat gluten-free, and like, I'm not saying eat gluten-free because you want to. If you have an allergy and then you have certain things it does to your body that you want to be able to eat gluten-free so you don't have any negative effects. Those are kind of expensive. Therefore, if you don't have to eat bread, don't eat gluten-free bread. Like, save it for when you really feel like you need it, or yeah, you understand the gist of it. It's pretty expensive, so I don't eat bread very much anymore because I mean, that's what I get. But basically, before I keep on rambling, I'm going to show you the Chex Mix, which is delicioso. So, okay, so this is the Chex Mix. I have it in this container. Why is everything I've been showing you today brown and kind of weird? This has got pretty interesting. But basically, okay, you may say, I have a gluten intolerance. How am I going to eat Chex Mix? There's wheat Chex in it. No, we made this, like, we made it with rice Chex and corn Chex instead of with no wheat Chex, because wheat Chex has gluten in it. So these are gluten-free, which is lovely. And then we also, basically, the part that's sticking all the pieces together is honey and brown sugar and butter. So basically, if you want it a little bit healthier, on this batch, my last batch, which was with white chocolate, but pretty much the exact same thing, basically, my mom used butter, but this one she used olive oil, honey, and brown sugar, and she melted it all in a pot to like boil it and get it all liquid. And then she poured it into the combination of rice Chex, corn Chex, dried cranberries, chocolate chips, and mixed nuts. So they're like almonds and peanuts. Here is a peanut. Basically throughout this mix, and it is absolutely delicious. Yummy. We make it as we put it in a bar form. Like, we put it in a 9x13 pan or something. Make it like bar, and then we crumble it up so it gets like chunks of things. So it's not like individual pieces, but you'll get little chunks, and we just do it on aluminum foil, bake it, and then we break it apart and put it in a tub, and then you have a chunky granola-y Chex Mix, and it's delicious. Okay. Moving on to our substitutions. I have two by Bob's Red Mill. Now, these are pretty expensive, I have to admit. I don't even know why. I think my mom bought this when she was first diagnosed with having a gluten allergy. Her gluten allergy affects her digestive system. Mine affects my skin. So, basically, she bought this, but she never ended up using it. So, basically, we have homemade, wonderful bread mix. So if you wanted to make bread, like you were really missing bread, or you wanted to eat a sandwich, or you wanted to feel like you had slightly something normal in your life, you could use this. This is pretty expensive. I don't know how much. I don't know. But basically, bread mix. I think that sounds pretty good. Sorry, I'm such an idiot. Okay. It had will this even focus? I'm using a flip camera. I'm sorry. It's the only camera I have. Basically, it has garbanzo bean flour, potato starch, cornstarch, whole grain sorghum flour, tapioca flour, evaporated cane juice, fava bean flour, xanthan gum, active dry yeast, potato flour, sea salt, magnesium carbonate, well, that's in parentheses, guar gum, and soy lecithin. Whatever, I'm not perfect. I'm only 13. So, okay, then we have this. And then we also have, by the same brand, we have pizza crust. And this, I'm assuming, is made out of pretty much the same thing. Ingredients, okay. Whole grain brown rice flour, potato starch. Oh, it doesn't have garbanzo bean flour. Okay, whole grain millet flour. I don't even know if this will focus. Okay, sorghum flour, tapioca flour, potato flour, evaporated cane juice, xanthan gum, and then active dry yeast, sea salt, and guar gum. So that's 2 like mixes. So if you wanted to have pizza, you'd use this, and then if you wanted bread, you could use that. I bet there are different brands. We only have that. Okay, I have 2 options of vegetables. Of pasta. And basically, my mom was telling me, she's like, you always have to make sure, well, you're always taking a risk with getting gluten-free items, because if you check on the back, it will say if it is processed in a facility that has, see, here on the Heartland gluten-free rice and corn blend spaghetti. I love spaghetti, but I haven't used this yet. I haven't had spaghetti since I started this journey. Basically, it says processed in a, right here, these 2 little lines. This processed in a facility that uses wheat and egg. So she said that this costs like $1.89 this pack, which is not cheap for spaghetti, but I mean it's decently priced, and especially if you live by yourself and you're only serving for 1 to 2 person, this is good. And my mom and I are the only one going gluten-free because we are the only ones in this household with a gluten allergy. And she says this, on the other hand, she said she probably got this for like $5. We haven't used it. It's a brown rice pasta. And this is not made in a facility with, yeah, I don't remember where it said it. But this is not processed in a facility that has wheat and soy and whatnot. Therefore, this is far cheaper than this because you're kind of taking a risk. Like 98% or 99%, you're probably not going to incorporate any gluten with this. But with these, you're definitely not. But this is kind of expensive. So I'd say go with Heartland gluten-free, wheat-free spaghetti. I think this looks really good. I don't know. Let me look at the ingredients. Corn flour, rice flour, mono, and digestives. I don't know. It looks pretty good. How do you look at pasta and say it looks good? Okay, and then this is wheat-free, gluten-free. Isn't wheat, I don't know, not mushy. I don't know. This is made out of only brown rice. This is not part corn, so maybe that may be partially. This is also from whole grain, so I don't know. So these are good. They're kind of expensive, so eating gluten-free is not exactly a cheap thing. I'm also going to pull out soy sauce. Okay, these little packets of soy sauce, you cannot eat these when you eat gluten. Because this has water, salt, vegetable protein, corn syrup. Oh, I guess I could eat those. Okay, well, just regular soy sauce. Let's do a little bit of a comparison. Okay, this is, to our right, we have gluten-free. This is reduced sodium, gluten-free, tamari. Okay, tamari brand soy sauce. This is all natural, and this is made of water, soybeans, and salt and alcohol. Well, the reason you have to get gluten-free soy sauce is because in regular soy sauce, this is still less sodium by Kikkoman. This is made with water and then wheat. Wheat is the second largest ingredient with the second most amount of wheat. Therefore, this is not gluten-free. Therefore, if you are starting a gluten-free diet, even when it comes down to your soy sauce, you need to get gluten-free. Okay. So, basically, I believe that is the last thing I had to talk about. So, everyone have a lovely day. When eating gluten-free, make sure you check. Like, I check on everything now. Like, let's go into my pantry. Let's say I pick up this can of, this little jar of peanut butter. If I go to the ingredients, okay, roasted peanut, sugar, palm oil, salt. So, I could eat that. Let's go to the, let me go to a little bit better of an example. Okay. Light tuna. Okay, that's canned tuna you can eat. I'm trying to find something that... Okay, well basically my point is that you have to be careful. So be careful when eating gluten-free because, don't want to get your digestive system out of whack. So before this video is 10 minutes long, I'm going to say goodbye. Have a fun gluten-free day. XOXO from the gluten free princess. Okay, bye.